The Great Crystals of Atlantis. July 2, 2013. We come to you this day, dear cousins, on a light and happy note. It is our wish that you should know how the waters are alive with the frequencies of the great crystals. We speak of the aquamarine-colored frequencies, those we spoke of often this year gone past. We told you how the great crystals lie softly cradled in the sands below your waterlines, and how the time would inevitably arrive when they would come alive and set the grid afire once again. Joyously we tell you that this time is now, the time when the effects of this alighting may be felt by you, body and soul. Be bright of heart, sweet angels, be of this light. Oh, this is a happy thing. So jubilant we are, you see. As well we know what the alighting of the mighty crystals does foretell. Change. Glorious and positive change. Alas, to you who dwell on Gaia's lands, you may be wont to notice that anything is different. Perchance, the more sensitive of you may pick this up. Regardless, rest assured that you, at some point, cannot help but be affected in some way. Your human selves shall reap the benefits of the crystalline frequencies beneath the waves, just as your bodies absorb the incoming upgrades generated by the sun. You shall be radically influenced by the underwater grid. Aquamarine in color, it is. We swim it. We tend it, as one tends a garden. A tranquil sister to the exact grid to which you anchor that one which spans the outer perimeter of the globe, she has awakened. We beseech you to think of her often and to send her your love. For it is your belief in her and your passion for her by which she strengthens and expands. Thus, as the grid grows stronger, so do all benevolent life forms on the planet. There was once a day when the great crystals were intact. And so as all time is now, time, one might say, that on one timeline or another they remain intact still. However, on this timeline where we dwell, you may consider it to be a time gone past. Oh, such a time of happiness it was. A euphoric time. All of life functioned in unison. Gaia's abundance was freely distributed, fairly and equally, to one and all. Rather than as it is done now, based on privilege and greed. This was an enlightened time. Energy was openly exchanged and love was the currency. As it ought to be. We, your cetacean brethren, were recognized as equals to the human being and a free and open discourse was the norm. Brethren of the sea, brethren of the land, why ever does it matter? One's body composition, its shape and size, its species. It mattered not then and it should not matter now. In those loving years, the great crystals functioned as the primary generators of energy for the populace. Crystals, in smaller form, were used for the preparation of food, for lighting one's home and other such purposes. To be expected to suffer and bleed for the right to have access to energy sources was unheard of. It is incomprehensible to us that it is this way now. The universe is ripe with energy, and it is the right of each and every one of God's children to have access to it. In those days, the great crystals harnessed the universal frequencies, bringing them down to a physical level. But for no other reason than mankind's foolish quest for superiority, they lay shattered and strewn like so much dust across the ocean floor. Carried by the currents, washed ashore by the shifting tides and centuries of storms, their fragments have come to rest at every corner of the planet. You feel rejuvenated living by the ocean's edge, do you not? Think to ask yourselves why. We ask you now to work to be as we are. Know that yes, the waters, they may pitch and rise. The rains shall fall and the snows shall run downhill as gentle rivers. The storms may rage, and Gaia, she shall right herself a bit from time to time. But know this, sweet cousins, know this at the deepest level of your being. That this is what you have been pining for. This is the culmination of that mysterious longing within your heart. That unidentifiable knowing that there is something more. You came here not to perform dull and ritualistic tasks, but to be just as we are, joyful, exuberant and free. Your restless hearts have always known it. Were you told to hunker down and not to go out in the hurricane? Well, We say go. Stomp in the puddles and twirl in the rain. Let the winds take you up, up, up to the very heights of your being. Immerse yourselves in light, the aquamarine light. Until such time that we speak again, may you be blessed. We are the Crystal Dolphin Pod. Channeled by Bella Capozzi. Cupcakesandangels.wordpress.com